Hello, and welcome to the Content Bite, a podcast for freelancers who use their words to make money. I'm Rachel Smith, a freelance journalist, copywriter, and content producer. I'm also the founder of Rachel's List, a jobs board and community for Australian writers and other creatives.
And I'm Lynne Testoni. I'm a journalist and content writer as well. Rachel and I are your weekly co-hosts, and every week we bring you all kinds of tips, tricks, and some fabulous guests to help you make the most of your freelance business.
I'm all for protecting my most valuable asset, my creative energy.
Fair enough.
Yeah, by offloading the admin that drains it. And that's why we love Rounded, because it really does take away so much of the money admin that I used to do with a spreadsheet and a box of receipts. How about you?
Yeah, me too. I think I would get stressed about finances, and I love the fact that it's all taken care of and it's all there for me. And I think it frees up my brain really to do all the creative work, which is writing. That's what I love.
Absolutely. And if you're a Rachel's List member, you get 20% off an annual subscription at Rounded. So check out the show notes for more about that.
Fantastic.
Hey, Rach, are you finding the way you pick up clients is changing? Or do you think that people are just less responsive to the old ways of marketing?
I think, we've probably all heard that we're in this trust recession, right? And I am definitely
I hadn't heard that, but it's a good name. Yeah.
I've heard that from a couple of marketing experts, and I think people are more reticent to buy or just sign on the dotted line. I'm seeing a lot of ghosting in my freelance business, and I know other freelancers are as well. So yeah, it's weird out
It
there.
is huge. Yeah, we are hearing it a lot. I'm certainly finding it on the media side. A lot of the editors just don't get back to you anymore.
Is that new though?
No, it's newer. I mean, I think it's happened to a lot of people. It hasn't always happened to me as much. So it's
Yeah.
definitely happening a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm really excited about the guest we have on today. It's Mia Fileman. She's a marketing legend, and she now mentors and teaches others. And at the time of recording, Mia's in the last minute throes of putting together the fabulous Ripple Festival in Melbourne. But she's made time to talk to us about marketing, how it's changing, and the new ways writers and creators are getting noticed.
I know. I love this topic. Okay, let me introduce Mia and we can get started.
Great.
Okay. Besides having earned the nickname the Campaign Lady, Mia is an expert marketing strategist and founder of Campaign Del Mar. You'll love her hard-hitting, no BS marketing expertise honed by 20 years in the industry. She's a widely published writer for publications including Social Media Examiner, Mumbrella, Marketing Mag, Smart Company, and Better Marketing. And the first decade of her career was spent in brand management roles for global consumer brands Vegemite, Kraft, Maybelline, and Bic in France. Now she's a full-time trainer and mentor who works with SMEs and marketers to drive business results. Strap in for your journey to marketing glory. Love it. Welcome, Mia.
Thank you so much for having me, friends.
Oh, it's so great to see
We
you.
are so glad to have you. And before we talk marketing, let's quickly talk Ripple, because Lynn and I did the Content Bite Summit. We were just talking about that offline. We did it back to back for 2 years. So we know the sheer amount of work and stress involved. So tell our listeners a bit about Ripple Festival and when it's happening.
Yeah, we trauma bonded over
We
major
did.
events, didn't we?
Yes.
Yes.
So Ripple Festival is a 2-day mashup of small business conversation, but live music, stand-up comedy, and art. So no biggie. We're just trying to create like a new genre of business events because we found that inclusivity and diversity was really a token throwaway thing that people would say, and that a lot of business events in Australia are geared towards the top end of town, the tech bros, e-commerce, but small business owners, which is everyone here, we are 98% of the Australian business community, and we are so underrepresented when it comes to events. So we wanted to shake things up, and we took on this mammoth project.
Oh, and it sounds like it's a different kind of event for small businesses. I mean, I like the idea of blending music and comedy and things. That's what intrigues me. It looks so cool.
Yeah, it's very different. It's not stuffy auditorium, sit down in a conference room style and listen to 6 hours straight of TED Talks and panels. Where incorporating movement so people can absorb what they're learning. We're bringing in social enterprise with small business. So our keynote speaker is Kon Karapanayotidis, who's the CEO of the Asylum Seeker Rescue Centre. We have Jordan Evans, the founder of Mingle Seasoning, but we also have one of Australia's sharpest stand-up comedians, Tom Ballard, who's doing a set at Ripple Festival. The venue is undercover but open. We're having gourmet food. So it's a music festival meets a business event. And it really is a celebration of small business, not this doom and gloom. Everything is hard. We're getting ghosted. That's of course happening, but choosing to focus on the positives of being a small business owner.
Yeah.
And I love also, like, bringing in the comedians, bringing in the musicians. It does give your brain a bit of a break and a laugh, doesn't it? So you probably can absorb stuff more. I think that's the whole thing with conferences, like you say. We struggled with that. Like, how do we lighten it with some things and change the experience for people so that they are able to still absorb the big stuff? So it's a real challenge.
And also, how do we inspire them creatively to go and swing for the fences? Because as a marketer, I know that the future of business advantage belongs to creativity. So, how can we use arts and music and comedy to inspire people to take more creative risks in their marketing? Because all I see all day, every day, and I'm sure you are the same, is the same old tired Instagram trend regurgitated for the millionth time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the AI slop on
Oh,
LinkedIn. Yeah. Doing something different is huge. Well, can people still get tickets? How can they get tickets?
absolutely. We are going to keep tickets open right up until the day. So it's happening 12th and the 13th of November in Melbourne. And the venue is Graysland, which is a foodies playground. And you can head to ripplefestival.au to get your tickets. And you can do one
Fantastic.
day or both day.
Okay. Put that in
Awesome.
the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you.
Yeah, it
Mm.
sounds so inspiring. And I do think creativity is the future. That's what keeps us all going. That's why we're here, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
So
absolutely.
let's dive into today's topic, which is a bit about marketing without the megaphone, which I like that. So, and I know you believe there are three new marketing weapons working better than anything else right now. Tell us about those.
Well, I kind of cheated by saying they're new. They're not in any way new.
We like a good cheat. That are good.
It sounded really good in a pitch. Like, oh, I'm going to tell you like three new things. They're actually as old as time, and they are connection, creativity, and conversation. So we are absolutely seeing a shift in marketing that people's appetite for being broadcasted to or spoken at has completely dried up. And that's really coming from a lack of results. We were promised that if we enroll in a 100-person online course cohort, we would start to make $20,000 of revenue a month. We are
Oh my
not
God.
seeing that. And online course completion rates are criminally low. One study that I saw said that 12.6% of online courses are completed. So people are like, I'm done with that. And I would like everyone to say that I called this early, that I told them that this was not going to work, because people crave to be heard. They want a two-way conversation.
Mm.
Yes, I do believe that everyone thinks that their business is so unique and so different, and it's not necessarily true. There are some universal principles that do apply. However, it is our job to tailor that information to those customers. And it's very hard for them to take, advice that's for everyone and apply it to their own businesses. So people are really chasing that connection with the people that they're willing to invest in. And then creativity, we've spoken about briefly, but the brands who are winning right now are the ones who are swinging for the fences, the ones who are, coming to market with something that is exciting, that is unpredictable. There is so much predictable marketing.
Yeah.
Mm. That's interesting. So you say the volume model is dead. The 1,000-person on-demand course that you do, like, where you work through the modules one by one and you don't meet anyone else and it's just all on, that's dead as well, or you feel that it is. What's replacing it? What's working? Can you still have a course as long as you have a community, or how does it all work now?
Yeah, I will say that the gurus, I call them the gurus, the seven-figure megaphoners, they ruin everything. They
Mm.
took online learning, which is
Yeah.
absolutely a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
they ruined it because they took out all the value, which was support, accountability, and community. And it was this faceless kind of, like you said, Rach, enroll in this course. Don't ever speak to the lead trainer. You are lucky if you are able to get your question answered in 100-person Q&A. And honestly, that model was always doomed to fail.
Hmm.
But online learning is still very much alive and kicking, but we need to meet people where they are.
Hmm.
And so what I've seen, I'm an online course creator. What I've seen with a lot of success is that we just bake in that support and accountability. So is it a hybrid live, on demand model so that people can watch the videos, but then we come together and there's that accountability piece? Is it more of a retreat or an in-person workshop where we can facilitate that community conversation and connection? Is it a membership? Because people do things in their own time. So I had a 9-week program, and some people were able to get through all the course content in 9 weeks. Some people were still at week 3 in week 9. So I
Mm.
repositioned my business to be a membership model, and now people can work at their own pace. And so really thinking about what people are craving, and it is those 3 things: connection, creativity, and conversation, and meeting them there. Whereas what I've seen happen post COVID are these very self-centric models. I want passive income. I want a lifestyle business.
Mm.
I want to make money in my sleep. So I've built a model that works for me, but it doesn't actually work for the paying customers. And
Yeah.
they were willing to go along with it because there was some pretty manipulative marketing that was happening at the time. Like, you're not willing to back yourself if you don't invest in this course. And look at all these shiny testimonials that we have, in fact, manufactured. But now the chips have fallen and we can see that the results are not there. So you enrolled in the 25K mastermind, you did the 100-person online course. Show me the money. Where is it?
Yeah.
Ain't there.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
interesting. I'm big on networking, and that's a real thing of mine, and meeting people in person. And I think it does result in work. But the other thing that I get, which I don't think people talk about enough, is I get invigorated by that. I
Yeah.
learn things. I think it makes me more creative. It makes me think of things in a different way. But we all get invited to things, or we see things online. Do you have to be quite intentional, or do you think it's good to sort of, go out and try lots of different things? What sort of questions should you ask before you commit to an event?
An event or a community?
Oh, either. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's a really interesting question. So I think it really comes down to your values.
Yeah.
So I would be trying to find values aligned humans. Whereas there seems to be a lot of communities or events that are specifically for retail or specifically for e-commerce and specifically for tradies. But I think what's more beautiful is cross-pollination. Like I could learn from e-commerce for my service business. I could learn from tradies. As long as we share similar values, why can't we be in the same room? So I think that that's probably what people don't look for when they're joining communities or coming to events, is that they're just like, well, I'm a retailer, so I'll go to a retailer conference. And this is how we end up with legacy advice and, that kind of same thinking, because we're in an echo chamber and we're all bouncing around the retail community. Whereas what I see within Marketing Circle, we have product-based businesses, online businesses, service-based businesses, bricks and mortar businesses, is that we are learning from each other, from like industry aligned, but values aligned as being the number one thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because I run 2 businesses. And once I started writing about business, like
Mm.
for trade magazines and interviewing business owners, like a lot of dentists and chefs and veterinarians, it's
Mm.
so interesting to see what they do in building
Mm.
their business and how you can apply that to your own. So,
Mm.
yeah, okay, that's interesting because, as you say, communities do end up being like a community of copywriters, and there is this echo chamber. But how can you put together something meaningful that leads to those referrals? Is it about broadening the scope of the kind of community you're setting up?
I have an unpopular opinion about this, but I
Yes.
actually think that joining a community can net you more referrals than building one,
Right.
because there is so much effort that goes into putting on an event like yours and mine or building a community. Whereas if you get to just come along and enjoy the fruits of somebody else's labor,
Plug yourself in.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and make a little bit of effort to find out who else is in the community, you can walk away with a lot of referrals and clients. And I can illustrate this with an example. So there is a group called One Roof,
Oh, yeah.
and they're a digital entrepreneurship community. And they asked me to run a masterclass for them. I ran the masterclass and I was like, wow, these people are my people. The kind of
Mm.
questions that I got, the kind of engagement that I got. So it comes back to that values aligned piece. They were my people. I decided then and there that I was going to make One Roof my community and, you know, be really active there, invest in it. And I've worked with over 40 people in that community as
Wow.
paid clients,
Yep.
so I've made that work for me as a paid member as opposed to needing to be the community manager, having to sustain this community. Not sure if I
Interesting.
really answered your question there, Rach, though.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
like it.
Yeah, yeah. I was in One Roof for a while as well. I went in as a copywriter, but also as Rachel's List. And it is a really lovely community in a lot of ways. Yeah, really busy
Mm.
too. And
Mm.
lots
Yeah.
of, yeah, female small businesses. I know a lot of people who have a lot of success in there. So
Hmm.
that's interesting. Yeah.
Mm. So when you join or even create a community, and I know Rachel's seen this happen with little sub communities coming out of Rachel's List. When you join a group, how do you get the value out of it? And you talked about engagement. What are good ways to engage?
Yeah, so like, they have a Facebook group and they also have a Mighty Networks community. People are asking questions. I don't do this anymore, but when I was really engaging the community, I would set aside 10, 15 minutes every day to go in and answer people's questions without
Mm.
Mm.
me self-promoting. I would just
Yeah.
be like, hey, I know a thing or two about campaigns. So I'd like to give you a really thoughtful, personalized response to this question that you have asked. And as a result, I became a top contributor in that group. My name was popping up all the time. I made sure they had a community call every Monday. It was in my diary. I would rock up and I would be on that call for a whole hour and I would meet different people. So you get in, you get out what you put in.
Yeah.
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 Mm. It's
But
interesting.
I wouldn't be able to do that with 10 different groups, right?
Yeah.
So you need to choose the one that you're going to bet on. Strategy is about sacrifice. I
Mm.
felt a connection to One Roof. I thought that there was a lot of potential there. And it was a bet that paid off for me. And now my business has evolved quite a bit since then. And that's less, the kind of people that I want to work with. I don't generally work with people in the first year of business, second year of business. I'm sort of beyond
Yeah.
that, which is a lot of One Roof members. And that's okay. Move on to another community that fits me where I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You chose One Roof because it had businesses that weren't, that needed marketing help. So
Yep.
you found that useful. Are you also in a community of marketers?
I run a community of
Yeah.
marketers. Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So having both, like having your, possible referrals community and then also having your peers, I suppose, well, yeah, is important.
Yeah, it is really important. I will say that I think that every small business owner in 2025 and beyond is a marketer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whether you're a web designer, copywriter, content creator, graphic designer, I consider you to be a marketer.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Mm.
I think we touched on the trust recession earlier, which keeps coming up every time I'm talking to people. And that, seems to be a big problem for people wanting to market their businesses right now. So for, if people know all the marketing tricks in the book, what are some new ways to build, genuine trust with potential clients, do you think?
Yeah, so I'm working on this body of work called the Honest Marketing Method, which I unveiled in a live only session a couple of months ago, but I want to co-create it with my community because I 100% agree that we are in a trust recession. And it's because brands lie to us all the time.
Yeah.
And customers today, they have lost trust in brands. And this is actually statistically the case. I've got the stat. I can bring it up, but the honest marketing method is really about rebuilding trust and rebuilding relationships with audiences through honesty. And so this idea of like sharing validated income claims, like I made $70,000 in my last launch, and talking about cherry picking testimonials, this is what has eroded trust. Meanwhile, if we can be more concrete in our language, this is one of the components of the honest marketing method, is not using wishy-washy, ambiguous terms, but using pineapple words. Like, when I say pineapple, you know what I mean. It's a fruit. So how
Yeah.
can we, in our marketing, use really concrete terms so that people are really know what they're buying, right? Like they're like, okay, great. Also admitting who it's not for and the limitations. So what this can look like is campaigns build brands. Every major brand runs campaigns. You
Mm.
should definitely be running campaigns. However, let's not beat around the bush. Campaigns are a shit ton of work, right?
Mm.
They require at least 6 weeks of planning. And then people are like, oh, okay. She's telling me that I should run a campaign. And I believe her because she's admitting that it's not all easy street. Whereas we've been told that you can start a business with no money, you can scale that business to 6 figures in your sleep and it's going to be relatively painless, that you can sip mimosas and work 4 hours a week, and it's all bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's about bringing back the transparency and the honesty in our marketing, so that we can rebuild that trust. It's also about getting over ourselves and going back to actually having one-on-one conversations with people through a discovery or a sales call.
Mm.
I'm going to say this unequivocally. If you are considering working with someone and they are not prepared to get on a 15, 20, 30-minute call with you in order to discuss whether you're a good fit, please run. Okay. You
Yeah.
are paying for proximity to that person. You are not, they are not some messiah that you want to be close to. If this person has value, then they should have time for you, for your hard-earned dollars. So
Yeah.
this is the shift that I am seeing, is that we're moving away from auditoriums and we're wanting courtside seats, and people are prepared to pay more for that. So there are marketing memberships that are $50 a month or $100 a month. Mine is $600 a month, but it's full because people are like, well, no, I can spend $150 a month and get zero value and never
Mm.
speak to the lead trainer that sold me into this whole experience. Or I can spend $600 a month and have a one-on-one call with Mia every single month.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
that's the shift that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've talked a little bit about in-person things, which is what Ripple's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
And do
Mm.
you think that also helps to build trust? You tend to connect with somebody or you don't, which is just as fine, when you meet them in person or even on a call sometimes. Yeah.
It fast tracks it. So back
Yeah.
when I ran a marketing agency, I could sit in front of someone at a cafe in Darwin. We could have a conversation, and at the end of that hour, I could walk away with a $3,000 retainer to do that
Mm.
person's
Mm.
marketing. That would take 6, 9 months online to get to that level of connection. So I 100% agree with you, Lynn, that if you can incorporate some in-person elements into your online freelance business where you're having meetups, then you're going to fast track that trust building process for sure.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely think people are, kind of converting more if you are on those discovery calls. Like
Mm.
I've
Mm.
been experimenting with lots of different things, like sending services guides or doing like lots of different things. And ultimately, the thing that works the best at the moment is if they hear your voice
Yeah.
and they talk to you about their problems and all of that. So, yeah, I think that's really important. And meeting in
Definitely.
person, like going to a cafe, meeting them in person, and because people want to know who they're working with and they want to, and it can fast track that trust. Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
It's about the path to least resistance.
Yeah.
Like I can send 11 billion sales emails,
Yeah.
Mm.
or I could save myself the effort of writing 100 lead nurture emails, and I could just spend 20 minutes on the call with someone. And usually at that point, I'm not selling them.
Yeah.
in any way. We are just having a conversation and they are just saying, oh, what time are the calls, Mia? And what happens if I go away for a month? And it's really the meat and potatoes at that stage. If they've booked a call with you, they're ready to work with you.
Yeah.
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 I always say that people want to work with people,
Yes.
no
Yeah.
matter what stage they're
Mm.
at. So, but
Mm.
what if
Yeah.
you're getting to that sort of proposal stage and then you're getting ghosted? I think there's a bit out there.
Yeah. And you've been on the call with them and sent the proposal.
Okay. I'm going to give you the hottest tip ever. Okay.
Yes.
It is called the post proposal nurture sequence. So I'm an email marketer to my core, love it. And it's very hard to do a follow up after the first follow up. Like, what do you say? Like, hey, just following up again on my proposal, or just checking once more whether you've had any further thoughts about joining this thing. So instead, after you have a discovery call with someone or you send a proposal, you put them into a post proposal nurture email sequence. And there's a few things that I think make for a really successful post proposal nurture sequence. But one of my customers did this and she started converting at 80%.
Wow.
And so they get tagged in the CRM as proposal sent. Some of the inclusions is like our services guide and how we like to work and how quickly we can start working on your project from acceptance, because clients are so delusional, right? They think once I get around to accepting this proposal, I'll be able to start working with me the next day. And it's like, no, that could be 4 weeks. That could be 6 weeks. So managing those expectations and saying, hey, I only have one spot left for October. And then it's a 4 week wait period before we can start. It can actually nudge things along a little bit.
The
Oh, that's
urgency.
a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. Okay. What about
Yeah.
also sending a video, doing a Loom video or something, taking them through the proposal? Would you put that as a separate email in your nurture sequence?
I love including video in my nurture sequence. I'm not a huge fan of the Loom video walkthrough proposal. What I will say is that I am very unlikely to send a proposal unless I can do it live on a Zoom call.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of a 3 or 4 minute Loom video where they cannot watch it, it's like I've got the proposal ready, but I would like to walk you through that. And manage that really early, even in the discovery call stage. So guys, after the discovery call, I'm going to go away and I'm going to pull together a proposal, but actually we're going to get together and we're going to go through it together, because I know that if I can get face to face with them and try to simulate that coffee in Darwin situation, I can walk away from that meeting with the sale much more than I will just by sending a Loom video.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, you just said that you're an email marketer to your core. So I really wanted to talk to you about storytelling, because you mentioned that shouting louder isn't working right now. We're seeing lots of AI slop, people shouting on LinkedIn, everybody's tuning out. And I know that storytelling really worked for us with the summit, in the run up to the summit. So should we be weaving more stories into our marketing right now? Can you overdo it?
The answer to that is always yes, and
Okay.
and there is no limit. I've never, oh, that brand tells too many good stories is
Yeah.
not a problem that anyone's had. The problem though, Rach, is that people are afraid to try. They hear the word storytelling and they think, I need to write like J.K. Rowling. Otherwise, I'm not going to be a storyteller. They think they need to be a great writer, and that's simply not true. Some of the best stories I've seen are told through images, are told through memes, are told through anecdotes. And the thing is that you guys know this probably even better than I do. The only way to get better at storytelling and writing is to freaking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And isn't it weird how some people are the most amazing storytellers that you wouldn't consider? Like, I am a subscriber to a lawyer's newsletter, and the stories that she writes that are connected to a clause in a contract that, drove the business into the ground because of XYZ happening or something. But the way she weaves it, it's so dry and boring stuff, but she weaves it into these incredible, tales, and you
Stories.
can't help but read it. It's like, wow, even though it's got nothing to do with my business
It
at
reminds me
all.
of Fidantok. Are you across her?
No.
So she's a family lawyer in Sydney. Her name is Fidan, and her channel is Fidan Talk. and she sits at her desk and she changes the names of her clients, but she talks about really, really interesting family law cases.
Yeah.
Like, were they in a de facto relationship? And taking out all the legalese and the mumbo jumbo. And it's so fascinating. And I'm watching this 5-minute family law video, and I'm like, this is incredible. Also, Freely is a travel insurance company. For goodness sakes, if anyone is going to spectacularly suck at marketing, it's going to be insurance. However, they focus less on insurance, more on travel, and they create the Freely travel briefing. And every EDM is incredible, like photography of animals in the Sahara, or a podcast out of Japan talking about the Japanese American cultural experience. And I'm sitting there going, Mia, you are reading an insurance newsletter. Like, what are you doing? It's sensational.
Wow,
Mm,
so
mm. Because
interesting.
the stories draw you
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Love it.
Can we talk about collaboration? Because I'm a big one
Please.
for that as well. Who should you think about collaborating with if you're a freelancer? Do you go for somebody who might be doing similar work to you, or complementary work, different industries, same industries? How do you work it?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of collaborations as well. It's how I've built my business without having the ad spend.
Mm.
And it really comes back to someone that has an overlapping audience with you, but you don't cannibalize each other. And the most important ingredient is values. And then anything becomes on the table then if you align on values. You could have so Zero Co, who make cleaning products, collaborated with a wine grower, which makes no sense, but they have a massive sustainability overlapping of values.
Mm.
And so the segue, or the story that tied all of this together, was the sustainability piece. And what
Mm.
I would urge people to do, coming back to creativity, is please make it unpredictable. Don't just think, oh, I'm a copywriter, so I could collaborate with a graphic designer. Yeah, you could. That's cool. But we've seen it 100 times. Think about really out of the box collaborations. Even a copywriter collaborating with an illustrator could just take that up a notch. One of my favorite collaborations is Absolute Vodka with Heinz pasta sauce to make pasta a la vodka,
Oh, yeah.
based on that like TikTok trend. And it's like, what's a vodka company doing with the ketchup brand? But the visual art direction of this campaign was so nostalgic, so lush. If I showed you, you'd be like, oh, yes, I saw that. It was very reminiscent of those like Italian travel posters.
Mm.
It was such a great collaboration.
Mm.
Mm. Can we dive a little bit deeper into collaborations and talk about, what are some good collaborations to set up? What are some that could really work for you? Like, I'm thinking email marketing or socials, but are there any that you've seen work well, like on a freelancer type level?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the collaboration between Fee and I. So, my
Mm.
business partner at Ripple Festival, she's a money coach and a business strategist. So, she helps people with their money psychology, money management, and also business model design. And then I'm a money trainer. So, overlapping audience, but low level of cannibalization.
Mm.
So, it goes back to that. Generally, Fee and I sat down and strategized this, and we're like, okay, they need to start with Fee and then they need to come to Mia. So then how can we make that happen with our offers and our email marketing? And then as a result of that, we have quite a few members who are in both Good Money Club and Marketing Circle, or we know that this person is about to graduate from Good Money Club and then they're joining Marketing Circle. We co-host money and marketing retreats. She's got a podcast, I've got a podcast, because there's quite a bit of overlap without it being a complete substitute. So, and it's I've been good friends with Fee as a as a friend, as a collaborator for 3 years now. So you would think that at this point we have tapped out each other's audience, right? Like we
Yeah.
are business partners. Still, every time we do an Instagram live, or we have a podcast episode together, or we just do a collaboration post on Instagram, I still gain followers. So it's like we still haven't tapped this out.
Mm.
Another good example is Odette Barry, who's a publicist. She's
Yeah,
also
we've had Odette on the podcast. Yeah.
yeah, she's a great collaborator of mine as well. She's done a lot of coming into my programs to teach small business owners how to hack their own PR. So, there are so many opportunities to collaborate within the freelancer community.
Love that.
So interesting.
I know. Well, we do like to ask all our guests about their favorite apps and services. So what would you be lost without?
So Squarespace is
Okay.
unbelievable. I cannot get over how easy it was to build the Ripple Festival website with Squarespace. But there is one app that my community cannot stop talking about, and it's Rounded, which is the app for sole traders, an accounting app.
Did you know
That's
we
our
love
sponsor.
Rounded? That's our
Oh my
sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Kudos.
fabulous.
Yes.
Honestly, every second day, someone says to me, I couldn't live without Rounded.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We know our sponsor will be listening to this and getting very happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Mm.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's ideal for solo businesses.
Yeah.
You're talking to small business owners, so it's ideal for that. Yeah.
I can't make heads and tails of Xero. I just can't. It's too robust. It's too overwhelming. I never log in. And yeah, I can't believe how many people talk about how much they love Rounded. Like there's actual love there for this.
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
I use both. I use both Rounded and Rounded for my freelance work, Xero for Rachel's list, because that's it, and I just let my bookkeeper handle Xero. I hardly
same.
ever touch it or do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Rounded,
different
you can be quite
experience.
interactive. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh,
Amazing.
wow. Thank you, Mia. It's so
Pleasure.
lovely to chat with you and meet you. I really want to wish you all the best for Ripples. It
Yeah.
sounds amazing. So tell us where the audience can find you and where they can snap up those last minute tickets too.
Thank you so much for the opportunity and letting me rant at you for the last 40 minutes.
Oh, it was
Love it.
great. My
It
brain
was
is
a great
buzzing
rant.
now.
I
Yeah.
am very passionate about ethical small business marketing. Ripple Festival, we would love to see you there. If you're a freelancer, creative professional, small business owner that wants to make some really meaningful connections and walk away with actionable tips on how to make small business easier, then we'd love to see you there. 12th and 13th of November in Melbourne, and you can get your tickets at ripplefestival.au.
Right. And where can people find you?
Everywhere I get around. LinkedIn, Mia Fileman, Instagram, Campaign Del Mar, and of course the Got Marketing podcast.
Fantastic. We'll put links to all of that in the show notes. Yeah.
Oh, what's your podcast?
It's the Got Marketing podcast, and I'd love to have you on that show. I've got so many ideas now that we've had this chat. So yeah, let's organize that too.
Let's do that.
Interesting.
Lovely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again. That brings us to the end of the show. Thanks to everyone who's listening. If you like the show, please leave it a rating and review on the platform where you find your podcasts. And we will put everything that we've talked about into the show notes so you can connect with Mia, grab a Ripple ticket. It sounds amazing.
All the
And
things.
yeah, we will see you next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks again to our wonderful sponsors, Rounded, easy accounting and invoicing software that helps freelancers run their business with confidence.
And don't forget, if you're a gold member of Rachel's List, you can check your welcome emails for an exclusive discount code on the annual subscription rate. You can also find it in the private Facebook Gold group, or just contact us at hello@rachelslist.com.au.